All right, we're all here. Very good. Awesome. That was quick. Where's my, there it is. Where's my cursor? I'm going to unmute y'all. So if you have anything, you can just shout it out. We're going to go over strings today, reminders of their methods and how we use them. And it's kind of built into objects, and on Runestone, it seems to be tied into classes, if I remember right. So I made a multiple choice little assignment. So hopefully I think it's mostly strings, but I might have snuck in some other topics in there. You can kind of look it up or Google it or whatever you need to do if we haven't covered it here in the review yet. So I'm going to share screen. And I was messing around and read a couple things in Replit too. Let's see, I'm going to go to my website. I have notes here that I stole from some other teacher. Seemed like a nice review for us. He might have some comments in here that are more specific to his class and when they did this, so you can ignore that if I left any of that in. So strings, what is a string? String are objects. Let me enlarge this a little bit. There we go. They're a sequence of characters, of course. A string literal is wrapped in double quotes, so this is called a string literal inside the quotes. To declare a string, of course, we can use string. Down here, you can use quotes. You can also say, you can treat it like it is an object. It's not a primitive type. String's not a primitive like integer and double and the like. It is an object, so we can treat it like an object, and we can say new here, new string Luke. Concatenation is when you can add them together, and then it'll say computer science, right? It's over here, computer science. Concatenation is the terminology for that, to add two strings together. You can do, you can put a space in the middle, I guess is what we're saying here. So you can have computer science, you can have, and then we can get into escape sequences with this. String methods, we have length, substring. Now remember on substring that it returns the substring beginning at from and ending to -1. So it doesn't, what it's saying is it doesn't include this letter right here. It includes the first one, does not include that one. It goes up to that letter. If you do substring and just start, just to have a value, it goes from that value to the end of the string. Index returns the index of the first occurrence of this letter, or of that string, actually, it doesn't have to be a letter, and returns -1 if the string is not found. Now they talk about equals, using equals rather than the double equals. I want to get into that just a little bit. So if you do, let's say A, string A is equal to apple, and string B is equal to apple. Then if you go, if you print out print line A equals B, it's actually going to say true. So it kind of treats it like a primitive type in this situation. That'll be true. But if you say this is a new string, like this, I wonder what it'll say now. Say false, because now these are two different objects. Now there were two different objects before, but for some reason, if you don't say one's a new, it says, yeah, they have the same content. But if you declare one of them as an object or even both, this will definitely be false. And I feel like we talked about this a lot during the year. So hopefully this is pretty basic for you. Dang. It's like the faster I type, the worse it gets. Equals. This should be true. Run. Should say false true. False true. All right. Little review of that. The equals rather than the double equals. What is this? Substring 7 to 15. So it's going to go from 7, but it will not include up to, but not including 15. It will not include this space. It'll say favorite. What is this one? Substring 9. So this will go 9 all the way to the end, and it will include the ending character on that. Index of cans is at space index number 11. So here's an example of index of. This, oh, here's where we get into the equals, and I kind of already talked about it. We know that this, on Replit at least, this will actually say true when you create the two objects in this form. So his notes aren't correct, unless he uses some IDE that actually says those are false. But Replit seems to say, nope, that's good. Strings are immutable, meaning they cannot change. The only thing you can do is create another string. So any operation on string object will not alter the content of the object, but create a new one with the transformed value. So string A equals hello. A equals hello. String B equals substring 0 to 1. So a new one is created. So once you create a string, they're said to be immutable. You cannot change them. You can only make a new one. That still does not change the value of A. All right, those are quick notes there. String loop, open a new tab. So you can use that as a reference for the syntax that we use with strings. Comparing strings tells you if string is equal to other. In other words, it has the same content. Compare to tells you if string comes before or after other. Does string come before or after other? And I believe you get a value return for that. Compare to, string is less than the other. A is less than Z. Compare to other is equal to 0. String is equal to. And if it's greater than 0, string is greater than other. So compare to returns a value. If string is greater than other, let's see, comparing strings. I guess we can do if statements with these. I'm more worried about just kind of the syntax rather than any kind of coding here. Isolating characters. Not sure. I mean, a string is an array of characters, in other words. I think that's what that's saying. Substring 3 to 4. This, isolating. This will bring up that one character. So go to from 3 to 4, grabs character 3, but goes up to character 4. So that's how you can grab one character at a time. I see what the author of this is saying now. And he gives a little formula on how to decide how many characters these are grabbing. So from 3 to 4, you subtract those and it's 1. The difference is 1. And that you can just subtract because it doesn't count that last one. If it did, then that subtraction would be 1 off. So he has a whole section here on how to count, how to isolate letters. You can loop over the characters by using substring or any other method that you choose. Do something with the letter. And he's saying, well, use I and I plus 1 to grab one character at a time is what this loop is saying. Here's interesting. Humpty Dumpty breaks the string into pieces, put them back together again. Frankenstein starts with nothing to pen pieces one by one. So that's kind of the two things that AP might ask you to do. Break a string into pieces with substring, put them back together again with concatenation. So you're saying you can break them apart. You can put a substring into A, a substring into B, and if you want to bring them back together, you can always concatenate them. So instead of having computer science, you could put science computer by breaking them apart, putting them back together how you would like them to be. You can also start with nothing and then add piece by piece. So for string letter substring I plus 1, and I don't know what he's doing here. I don't care about that. And that says lab 5.2. That's specific to his class. So there's just some quick notes, some quick syntax on characters, some reminder of some methods. The other thing I wanted to do is talk about the AP test. And where did I put those? I sent you two forms. Let's see, that's the practice test. Let me see if I can find that really quick. Am I still sharing? I don't want to share because I don't want you to see if I bring up email. Hold on a second. Oh, I cannot minimize. Oh. That's not it. That's not it. Give me a second. Pictures. Here we go. This is what I wanted to go over with you guys. So the 2020 AP test. Guess this goes one page at a time. Summary of resources, AP 2020 testing available at that website. This testing guide and exam day checklist. I sent you the checklist. Required documents, testing demo, and then AP World Language and a music theory is a little different. About your AP test e-ticket, 5 steps to take before exam. We got exam day, and then some other things. About your AP exam e-ticket. You need an AP exam e-ticket to test. And I think you were told, oh, wait a minute, you can't receive emails from your school email. So go in there and change to something else. Well, I think what probably happened, and I didn't hear this, the tech department heard about that and said, no, I think we can fix this. So now you're being asked to go back in there and switch it back to your school email. So I sent you an email on that. If I didn't, let me know. I still have that. Maybe I'll send it again anyway. But you need to go into AP and change your email back to your school email. And it would appear that you're going to get an electronic ticket to take the test. And if you don't have that, you're just not going to be able to take it at all. It says your e-ticket will be valid for the May exam schedule. And we can see that on May 15th, right here is the computer science A. Now, if you have other AP classes that you're taking, this is the schedule for all the other ones as well. Here's the June schedule if you have to make up anything. I didn't see where ours was. Maybe you can see it. Here it is right here. On Wednesday, June 3rd is the makeup if that is something that you're going to have to do. Reminders, each subject's exam will be taken simultaneously worldwide. Your AP teacher currently will help you identify your local testing time. Portfolio submissions, Los Angeles, Madrid. Online exams start at your local equivalent of 12 p.m., 2 p.m., or 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Oh, does it have that here? Let's see. Central Time is at exam start time. Central Time will be 3 p.m. Oh no, we're over here. We're over here. I was thinking calculus. Oh, that's the makeup one. Here we are. Yep. So 3 p.m. It looks like, and I'll confirm this for you. Looks like 3 p.m. will be the computer science A on May 15th. What to expect on this year's exam? They're saying that this shouldn't be any easier or harder than any other year. And I guess what they're going to do is allow me to see your results. And then if it's drastically different than what you did throughout the year, then I can essentially fight for you for a better grade. Apparently, I don't know that for sure. And if that's the case, then we're definitely going to include the administration on that, and I would get advice from them on how to proceed. So that's kind of an unusual situation. So let's see. The exam questions are viewed by students in a web browser like Chrome. Students type or write the response outside that browser. Then they choose from the 3 options to submit responses. So you can copy and paste a typed response. I would imagine that's what we're going to do in this class. Like for AP Calculus, it's hard to write all those symbols, or type all those symbols. So they're probably gonna have to write stuff. You might be able to just type it out, I would imagine. I don't see why not, but you can attach a typed response, or you can actually take a photo of any handwritten responses. I don't see why that would be necessary for this class. So then they talk about copy and paste a typed response, attach a document and then click submit, or attach photos of handwritten response and then click submit. And that goes through what you can expect from those 3, and you can kind of browse that. Music theory and world language exams, those are slightly different, so they have some special instructions for them. If you have to test with any kind of accommodation, they have some instructions there, and they even have a website down here for accommodations. Requesting a makeup exam, I'm not going to go over that, and you can see that if you have to do that. Step-by-step testing. Most students will be able to navigate the test using only the information on the preceding slides. 5 steps to take before. Review your contact information. Make sure you go back and switch that email to your school account. We're going to practice submitting your response. I'm going to have one of you, I think, Michael, are you still on a computer today? Okay. I'm going to have you do something for us possibly at the end of this, because I don't have access to any kind of student accounts. Receive your exam confirmation e-ticket emails. You want to check your technology, then gather what you need for each exam. So then it goes into detail about making sure everything's right, and you want to make sure that email is back to your school account, because they've fixed that. Check your tech, choose your device, make sure the device that you're on is working and reliable. Prepare your documents for typing. They go through and give you some suggestions there. Prepare your documents for handwriting if that's what you choose. You guys, when you take the test, I would have that available just like as a backup. So make sure you have a pencil and paper with you handy. We're going to use the AP 2020 exam demo to practice and test your tech. I have that website, I think. We're going to try that out with Michael, as long as it's not projecting any sensitive information. Then it goes on what students need on exam day, and they have some extra stuff for like music theory, and I don't think you have to worry about that. I don't even think we offer that at South. Computer Science A, required Java quick reference. Permitted interactive development via IDE or compiler. So you can use Java, you can use Replit to type some stuff in, and I will get you that quick reference guide. And then they have other things. If you're taking other AP classes, you might want to read through that and see what's available to you. They have optional resources. Look for your exam confirmation e-ticket emails. You'll receive an exam confirmation email on May the 4th be with you, your AP ID and a list of exams you're registered for. So look for that stuff on May 4th, and I'll try to remember that and remind you to look for it. 2 days before each exam, you'll receive an email with your personalized e-ticket and AP ID. So that's the 13th. You should receive something for computer science. I sent you the checklist, so you might want to read through that. Make sure you're ready to go for this test. Exam day, you are going to check in 30 minutes before your local start time. Use e-ticket to check in to the exam. I'll probably send you an email there also on that Friday to say at 2:30. Hey, make sure you're checking in, or maybe a little earlier than that. 45. Then they have 25-minute question, 5 minutes to turn it in, and then a 15-minute question. And that excludes world language and music theory if you're taking either one of those. There's the 2 that are a little different. Do your best to remove distractions. Enable the do not disturb or quiet setting on your device. Let your parents, guardians, siblings, and friends know that you'll be testing so they don't disturb you. Make sure your device is plugged in. Ask others on your network to limit their use, and have your checklist and any required documents next to you. So they suggest you have that checklist next to you as you take the test. Exam security. All right, now here's my little pep talk not to cheat on this. Apparently, they're going to use some fairly sophisticated software to see if somehow you plagiarized. Student exams will be scanned by plagiarism detection software, and then they're actually going to share that with me, so to look at maybe comparing work from each of you, so that if you have the exact same code letter by letter, that's going to be certainly a red flag that I would look for. If you have a vastly different score than what you've been getting all year, I can either, I suppose I could either fight for a better score for you, or I could say there's no way that this student did this work. This is way above this student. I don't know. I don't know, you guys. This is new for me too. I don't know if it'll come to that. I hope it doesn't. But I just want you to just take the test. My students did very well last year. There were, 17 fives across the state in computer science A. And between, I had, I think 5 of those. And then Elkhorn High had 2 or 3 of those. So we had almost the majority of 5s in the state. So we feel that we've prepared you very well for this. I don't see any reason why you should try to cheat in any way, just because they have access to your ACT as well. And they haven't come out and said, hey, if you cheated, we're going after your ACT. I'm just saying, for you seniors, as you're going into your freshman year in college, you don't want that. You don't want that issues. You just want to be done with this, get it over, do the best you can, take the grade you get, and move on to college, and not have to worry about them coming after you in any way. So there's my pep talk on just playing it straight. Just use what they give you that's available, and don't do any kind of cheating or plagiarism when you take this test. It's just not worth it to do that. So just be honest, and you'll have nothing to worry about. Now, you're like, oh, Mr. Smith said that they're going to try to take my ACT away. I didn't say that. I'm just saying that they control ACT also, and I don't know if they would throw that in as leverage. I don't know if they would do that. Let's not try to find out in any way. They talk a little bit about checking into your exam. I think I have this website very close to what it looks like. Oh, we're running out of time. Answering the exam questions, managing your time. They might have a little timer for you as you take it. I don't know that. But since it's on computer, they certainly could. That would be pretty easy. Submitting your responses, and then exam score, credit, and placement they talk about here. So here's what and you can read through this. And then check your browser, see if it's working, of course. Michael, if you would, please. AP practice test. I know this is really tiny. Can you see that URL, Michael?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you type that into your browser and bring this up? Don't share your screen yet. And I want everybody to do this. And we'll see how far we can get with it. And we only have 7 minutes. So when you get to this, it says AP 2020 exam demo.collegeboard.org. And to practice, you type all capitals practice. Hit continue, and here's I can't get any farther than this because I don't have a student account. And notice down at the bottom it says 4 minutes until your exam starts. Michael, what I would like you to do is, could you enter this information and see if you can get to the next step? And if you can, as long as there's no sensitive material, if you're comfortable sharing the next screen, could you share that with us, please? And the only reason I'm doing this is I don't have a student account. I don't know if I can't get any farther than that. So Michael, we have 6 minutes left. If you're comfortable sharing the next screen with us and showing us what that test looks like, or me, the rest of you can probably see it. I would really like to see that, so I'm a little bit more informed about it.
So it shows like how you can submit your response or whatever. It goes like you can attach a text file, attach a photo like from your phone, or copy and paste.
So you don't see anything about taking a practice test?
No, I don't. It may be like when the timer ends, but I'm not sure otherwise.
Or maybe they're not going to open that up yet, possibly. I think I heard a date when they're going to open it, and I don't think it was an April date, so maybe they don't have it good to go yet. So, and you don't see a next or anything where you can take a test or anything?
No.
No? Okay. All right, I'll try to find out more about this practice site and the practice test, and I'll get back to you. So expect some emails of reminders of, kind of the schedule for this, what you need to do when, and I'll try to send those out and then keep you up to date. Otherwise, we have Runestone multiple choice again today, so make sure you get that done. Shouldn't take you too long. And then I have a lab over strings as well to kind of go in there and play around with it and try to use those methods that we've talked about. And I think we did, I don't know if we've done this lab, but at the time we did this lab, we didn't know about loops. But you certainly can use loops if you'd like to do this lab. You can use anything you know about with Java to get it done.
On the lab, the output for like the 000, it doesn't have the 0 like for the total.
Oh, okay.
When you want to submit.
So hold off on the lab here, and I'll see if I can get that fixed. Well, let me just go in right now. I still got 3 minutes. All right. I have to edit. Oh, total of, I wonder if I have it in the total of, should just be total of 0, right? Total of 0, and I'll make sure that it's checking for that, where I put the output that it expects. Total of, yeah, total of 0. All right. Update done. All right, it should be fixed. Michael, can you refresh and see if it fixed it? I don't know if it'll change it for you now or not. Oh, no, I didn't put it in the main. Hold on. No, I think I fixed it all.
It worked.
Okay. All right. Thank you for letting me know. If you guys got any questions, don't be afraid to email me and let me know. If you need help on the coding, let me know. Just like if we're in class, I'll see if you made a reasonable attempt, and maybe I'll just give you the answer and we can talk about it. So that's what I got for you today. I'll send you an email if I put something up for tomorrow, but or Friday or Monday. And then if not, we'll see you on Tuesday. Have a good weekend, you guys. See you later. Bye-bye.